Send me. Here I am. Send me. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is incarcerated for choosing this job, or maybe the job that God have assigned him to do. And so as many of you who have paid the biggest price, even with your family ones, haven't been killed by the Nigeria terrorist state. We want to inform you today that the time has come. The time to fight Nigeria Fulani terrorists and the repentant Boko Haram in the Nigeria army terrorizing our people is not the time to fight them, is not the aftermath of their attack. We will continue to make this particular thing very clear. The time to attack those coming to kill us in our land is not the aftermath of when they have come to attack us. The best defense is to attack. It is every day. And every day we will continue to fight them. At the same time, we fight for the Biafra liberation. We also take solemn vow to eradicate terrorists, both those in uniform and those of the non-state actors that were imported from the neighboring countries to fight us. To build a Biafra that is freer and more secure is exactly what we are doing today. I want to repeat this again. On this State of the Nation broadcast today, we have moved the Biafra liberation from rhetoric to action. This is a word that you must underline. We have moved from rhetoric to action. I want to lend a voice from the famous word of Kwame Nkrumah in his famous midnight speech. After the Ghana liberated themselves from the oppressors, Kwame Nkrumah in his famous speech said, and I quote, "At long last, battle has ended. It involves battle. Fight for independence and freedom involves battle." Kwame Nkrumah continued in his speech, and choose, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. Our independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. And the vision of Kwame Nkrumah for the liberation of African continent is what the Biafra people are doing today. It is a just fight, a just cause, and our right that nobody can take away from us. Whoever wants the best of the Africa continent must look beyond this particular dangerous diversity and sham called Nigeria. As Biafra draw close, with no election, we have just 133 days to go. They are still panicking and wondering what the Biafra people are going to do. Some Biafra people today, we have to take them unaware. With the latest event happening across Nigeria, especially in Biafra territory, following the destruction of trucks laden with goods and services in Biafra land by the Nigeria Boko Haram controlled military in Biafra land. Now it is time for the Biafra people to look into formulating a proper civil defense doctrine under something similar to the Eastern Security Network. Biafrans are cracking their brains, bringing good ideas to the table, what we should do going forward. And to this note, we call on the market unions in Biafra land, starting from Anambra State, because we see that the burning and destruction of trucks is just started. More of these destructions are coming. So this evening, we are calling on the market unions in Biafra land, starting from all the markets in Anambra State down to the lowest in Biafra territory, to begin from today with immediate effect, formulate what we call the Eastern Civil Rescue. They can also give it any name that befit them. The job of these people should be to implement many things, including safeguarding some of the goods. When the enemy come to destroy those trucks, they are going to guide the place, safeguard it against more destructions and looters. It is very imperative to say that such civil defense doctrine would not include bearing of arms, for obvious reasons, being that if they bear arms, they will attract open confrontation from the terrorist government. From the intels that we have at our disposal, more of this attack would come. And we do not want to deploy the Eastern Security Network to an open confrontation at this moment. Because if we do send the Eastern Security Network to safeguard those trucks, it may bring in exactly the aim, the reason why they are now destroying trucks. So for this reason, we are calling on the market union in Biafra land, not just in Biafra land. They have to collaborate with other markets across Nigeria to have a uniform civil defense doctrine that could immediately swing into action when these criminals and terrorists have finished their assault. And I want to inform you this evening that when such civil defense from the unions in the market are formed, they can go into planning and controlling the civil defense organization, disseminating air raid and evacuation warning due to federal military troops reprisal attack that will occur or that could occur after this terrorist government have engaged with our liberation forces or with whomever they normally engaged in gun duel. Our community has been ravaged with flood in addition to the attack coming from the Nigerian military controlled by the Boko Haram, because we know they're controlled by the Boko Haram, as we have seen on different confession and those that have been arrested supplying arms to the Boko Haram. Today, we understand that the ISWAP is now in southern Nigeria. And the United States Embassy have just given warning in its website today, warning of an attack, planned attack by the terrorists Boko Haram and ISWAP in Abuja, and warn its citizens to be very security conscious. This warning is not just applicable to Abuja alone. It's also happening in Biafra land. And instead of our elite to concentrate on making use of our security men and personnel, the Eastern Security Network, since the Nigeria state security has been compromised and they are now infiltrated by terrorists because of their corruption cases and files, they decide to stay quiet and keep mute. But we believe that the market and the businessmen in our land are not government officials. They engage in businesses. And they also, to this point, have some kind of right to protect their business by themselves, as we have witnessed in different occasions. This particular civil defense that we are proposing today will provide of relief and assistance to an affected area visited by the Nigeria terrorist army when they have gone to, if they go to any village and sack the village and ransack the village, bomb and destroy properties. After they have gone, we are going to mobilize this civil group that will be in a volunteer form to go and swing into action to such village, especially supplying food material and whatever that is needed, whatever that is available, whatever that the Biafra people has made available to this particular village. The report, they also have to engage in a reportage. They have to report the damage and organize first aid and rescue work to the affected people. We are going to make sure that there is going to be an access to ambulance where it is needed, or vehicle to quickly transport seriously wounded people to hospitals. This has not been put in place, and we have recorded a lot of bombardment in Biafra land. The government have not provided this, so it has become imperative that we swing into actions. This civil defense will also rapidly repair minor damages to essential services like water mains, amenities, and critical infrastructures, as well as demolish dangerous structure and remove debris when necessary. I want the elite and the businessmen and women in Biafra to pay attention to this particular State of the Nation address, as it's going to affect you very, very positively if you heed to these particular directives. This civil defense will retain or could be an auxiliary volunteer firefighting crew with access to trailer with pump in every major municipality or town. You must take this very serious. We also will be soliciting for relief materials when this particular civil defense has been set up by market unions. When it is set up, it will be announced, and we will solicit for relief material both from home and abroad. This particular defense, civil defense, will be able to have access to warehousing, large buildings like churches, schools, and even open field in case of emergency, where welfare services like temporary shelter, information and registration can be collected and conducted. We are giving you this ahead of time. There could be more functionalities that can be included as soon as this particular civil defense is implemented. It must not be called civil defense. The market union could give it a different name, because we want some certain things to be handled in a very low key. I want to inform Biafrans today that as Biafra draw closer, the enemies are planning, and we need to be ahead of them in order not to clash with the Nigeria Federal Terrorist Authority. It must be kept very simple. Something even private citizen is allowed according to the Nigeria law the current law allows you to engage in a voluntary services, community services. It doesn't need to be registered. It doesn't need to go through the CAC registration. It does not need to be paid. It does not need to work for money. We need to showcase the evil atrocities perpetrated against Biafra people by state and non-state actors, those likely working under the federal terrorist state. This particular group will also engage in coordinating relief program for Biafra experiencing these kind of atrocities, like I have mentioned earlier. The Eastern Civil Rescue, or as you may call it, can operate as a volunteer apparatus to provide passive and proactive civil persistent situational awareness. I want to inform you today that these teams should be able to appear shortly at the scene of this wanton calamity as evidence in what happened at Onitsha in Anambra State, where many trucks were burnt and destroyed. Many goods were as well destroyed because the Nigeria state understand that Biafra is coming. This is going to happen in other part of Biafra land. And we are now informing you the best preventive measures that we are going to take. This particular group should at least be part to condone the areas to prevent looting by passerbys and to bullet or register the destruction. This would enable the owners of the trucks and trailers to at least pick up some pieces for a compass and a compensation in the future. So we do not want any Biafra to get hurt, especially your business. Now that we have discovered that Nigeria state are planning something, even those of you who may not support Biafra, you are paying the price. So we have to come up with something very, very positive and in a way to safeguard your goods and services from destruction by the Nigerian army. To achieve this, we must work in conjunction with some form of liaison with the market association and the union, also to ensure the Biafra owners can pick up the pieces. So it is the time for the market union to rise up. Market associations from Biafra land to other parts of Nigeria to wake up, because these goods that are coming to Anambra to other part of Biafra land came from Lagos and other part of Nigeria. It is clear to us that the federal terrorist government aim is to cause disharmony within the Biafra population by inflicting such pain, loss to alienate the civil populace from the liberation forces. It is expected this would be regular occurrence as the date of Biafra restoration draw closer. That's why we have to call you and call your attention. And then, of course, tell you some of the things that you need to do and let us move forward. If those that we, the liberation, need to do, we don't need to inform you. We will implement it before you knowing about it. This Eastern Civil Rescue, as you may call it, would not be profit or commercial entity that does not require to be registered in the Nigeria Corporate Affairs Commission. And it also wouldn't be considered as an NGO. Which still needs some legal status. So we don't need to go into that. What you need to do is for the union to put a mechanism within its unions and association and have volunteers who would go into actions immediately such atrocities has been committed by the Nigerian army. After they have deserted the place, they will go and safeguard whatever that remains. Having said this, we now proceed to Igbo Biafra market, especially in Lagos. This evening, we are going to make a special pronouncement. Before this pronouncement, we want to inform you people what is actually going on in Lagos. We are officially announcing to the Nigeria state criminal gangs terrorizing Ndi Igbo in Lagos market that the time is up. People do misunderstood what is Agboro and the Alaye. The Alaye doesn't have a tribe. The Alaye are breed of criminals from Nigeria. Alaye cut across ethnic board. Agboro, they are from Yorubas, they are from Igbo, they are from Hausa, and they cut across ethnic groups. A lot of people, only when you talk about Lagos Agboro, they think always that it has to do with Yoruba as a tribe. That's a very fat lie. I want to correct that narrative today that Agboro in Lagos, there are Igbos amongst them. Agboro in Lagos, there are Yorubas amongst them. Agboro in Lagos, there are Hausas, even Fulanis amongst them. And that is why we are going to make sure that we fight these criminal gangs that officially is being controlled by a man called Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So when you talk about Agboro in Lagos, we are referring to criminal gangs, certified criminal gangs that cut across ethnic lines. And today, we are giving them the first warning that in as much as Igbo businesses are paying whatever tax officially in their state and their various states in Nigeria, the criminal gangs that is being championed by Tinubu, we are calling on them today that from today going forward, you will not go and attack any Igbo market in Lagos. You must abide by the rules of the market and whatever the chairman of that Igbo market, they anonymously agreed that is going to be binding on them. I want to inform you also that what is happening in Igbo market in Lagos, it is not just about the Igbo. Yorubas are victims. Hausas are victims. Anybody who is in Nigeria and have anything to do either buying or selling in those markets, you are a victim of Tinubu criminal gangs. These criminal organized crime gangs of Tinubu is not only molesting and terrorizing the Igbo people, they also terrorize customers who are not Igbos. So we don't want people to think that this has to do with Igbo. In those markets, there are Yorubas who own shops in those markets, but we are taking it upon ourselves that the fight for the liberation of Biafra people and the way this government sponsor criminals to terrorize and bully the Igbos, we are bringing it to an end. We are ready to fight you in any way you bring it. And we are warning these criminal gangs in Lagos. If you think that you will continue to go and terrorize Igbo market in Lagos from Ladipo to Alaba International Market, what is happening in Alaba International Market today await you. And we are calling on those chairmen of those markets who have not stood up to their responsibility to do that immediately. We say that you can't fight us with criminal gangs. Destroy, molest, while we still pay you tax. We told you people one time ago that this time around, the fight will not be in Nigeria. It will not be in Biafra. The liberation of Biafra will be fought everywhere until the day Biafra will be pronounced an independent nation. We are going to fight within Nigeria, inside Nigeria, until Biafra comes. The days you molest, terrorize us in the name of organized criminal gangs called Agboro is over. I want this message to be shared everywhere. The fight is also to liberate Yorubas who have been caged by this criminal syndicate, organized crime gang that Tinubu have installed in Lagos. And all they do is to terrorize, thinking that they are terrorizing the Igbo. Meanwhile, Yorubas also are victims of this criminal gang. They do not represent Yoruba. So from today, if you think that these are Yorubas, you better change your perspective about them. They have Igbos in them. They have Yorubas in them. If you doubt me, you go and make your investigation, which we have done several years. This organized criminal gang comprising of Igbos, Yorubas, Hausa, and other ethnic nationalities. The people usually call them Alaye, as Yorubas. But I'm here to inform you again once more that they are not Yorubas. There is no ethnic group or ethnic nationality. The criminals are criminals, and they are called organized criminal gang. And we have just come to inform them that what is happening in Alaba International Market today will be a child play going forward. As Biafra draw closer, they are going to fight us and fight us everywhere we are. And that's why we are making preparation that we are going to engage any criminal group, be you who, within the Nigeria system. And those of them who will tell you, you want to instigate war against Yoruba and Igbo, I have made it very clear. This has nothing to do with to do the one nation. We are intact. This has nothing to do with Igbo nation. We are intact. It has to do with the criminal gang, organized crime gang, terrorizing in the Igbo in Lagos, because those markets are predominantly the Igbos. But of course, many number of Yorubas are also victims of these organized criminal gangs that is controlled by Tinubu. We also know how they have molested our people in Ladipo. They say that the Tinubu daughter is the owner of the market, and therefore they continue to chase Indigo away. We also understand that Ladipo International Market or Ladipo Market has been under siege for a while. Tomorrow, Alaba International Market will be locked down. And of course, I trust the leadership. Our voices will be heard. The warning goes to the criminals that we are out to fight and defend our people. This is going to happen everywhere, not just in Lagos. Very soon, we are also heading to Abuja. It is going to happen in Abuja as well. Those who come to steal, destroy, and kill us in our marketplaces, we are going to face them. And after this particular phase of liberation of Biafra, you will know that, yes, indeed, this generation of Biafra is not the kind of generation you are going to toy with. We therefore call on Tinubu to hold his criminal gangs and call them to order, to leave Igbo market alone. Lagos State, if they don't know how to govern a state in a modern society, they should go and get themselves educated and copy from different countries how to collect revenue. The intimidation, the thuggery, the terrorizing of our people in different markets in Nigeria is coming to an end. We know that Biafra is coming and we have a few months to go. But in these few months, we are going to leave a mark that none of these criminals that Nigeria breed will ever forget how we exited Nigeria. From here, from me, I say thank you very much and may God bless Biafra. Also, as we call the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, like I have said earlier, we are going to intensify the activities for Biafra liberation. You know, we gave ultimatum is over, and the Nigeria state will also continue to hear from us. For the last time, may God bless Biafra. May God bless Eastern Security Network. May God bless all the commanders. May God bless all those who have volunteered and contributed to the liberation of Biafra up to this point. May God bless all the aces, all the chiefs who are behind the Biafra struggle. May God bless all of you, both the countries that have shown interest to support Biafra. May God bless you. And may we continue to remain in the path of truth. Remember, freedom fighting is a right. It's a right that you must exercise to the fullest. I call you all to continue to stand on the path of truth. Truth we must follow until the Biafra that we crave and want will be achieved. These 133 days to go must not be something we are going to take for a joke. We wish you see future so that you will not be part of those who will shout, had I known. From here, from me, is good evening.
IPOB, one family. Biafrans all over the world. If we want safety and security for our people, then let's continue to support Eastern Security Network. All donations are welcome. No contribution is too small or too large. Do your part, knowing that freedom is in our hands and together we must all rise to the occasion. Go to our website to make your contribution, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. And remember that freedom is not free, but together we restore it, farm by farm, forest by forest, house by house, and street by street.
Good evening, wonderful people of Biafra and lovers of freedom all over the world. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Depending on your time and location, good evening. Good evening, people that have been persecuted and destroyed beyond human comprehension. Good evening, people that have suffered the brunt of one Nigeria. Good evening, people that have committed no crime but only to speak for their self-determination cause and yet they are crushed and then they are being maimed. Good evening, people that the Nigerian government and the British government uses different methods of warfare to reduce the numbers of Biafrans. Good evening to you that is not in the circle where it is happening, and good evening to you that is inside the bush that is fighting. Good evening to you that has become a victim of the well-planned flood that has invaded our lands and are killing in thousands. Good evening, wonderful people of Biafra. We welcome you to yet another segment of the program, and we say, Ndewo. We played that very State of the Nation broadcast so that you will have a recap of the strategies laid out. May we also remind you that the zoo will not stop at nothing than to use every tool readily available to destroy your cause for liberation and freedom. So we urge you to remain abreast and be formidable because we are entering into the toughest phase. So on this very note, I welcome all my comrades in the studio and I grace your availability and indulgence despite your time difference and your work schedules. I appreciate you all, and more of us will be joining us depending on the time and conditions. So I appreciate you all for being there, and I will be giving the mic to you one after another to grace Biafrans before we move on. Mazi Chuk Survival, please grace the house. Ndewo.
Thank you, my brother Stanley. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for holding the house until this moment. I say, may Chukwu Kabia continue to guide and protect you. I appreciate every Biafran that is watching across the world, any place you're watching from. If you're watching from Biafraland, from Asia, Europe, America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, wherever you're watching from, I say, may Chukwu Kabia continue to guide and protect you. We must continue until we get our freedom. I also appreciate our spokesperson, Mazi Simon Epa, wherever he is, that Chukwu Kabia will guide and protect him. I also appreciate the Umuada Amadabazuka, who is piloting out there, that Chukwu Kabia should continue to guide her and protect her. I thank you all as you have joined us patiently this evening. We will continue to fight this battle until we win. And we're definitely going to win. There's no doubt about that. Thank you so much for joining. Stay blessed.
Thank you very much, Mazi. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Mazi 555 Vision. 555 Vision Owobiko. They will from here. Grace the house. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sonny. I thank you, Trick Survival. I thank you, all Biafrans. I thank you, all lovers of freedom. May Chukwu Kabiama grant us strength to get victory. I thank you, all the autopilot, for the support you people are giving to us. I pray that God will give our spokesperson, Mazi Simon Eba, all the strength to lead and speak wisdom to the followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We pray that at the end, that Chukwu Kabiama will show himself that he is Chukwu Kabiama, who asked us to come and proclaim what belongs to us. The whole world is watching what is going on, so as they are watching to see what we can do. It is only a tree that heard that is going to die and remain at one place. Even if the smallest being on earth, which is the ant, will try its way for survival. So because of this, we have come to serve, we have come to preach according to however we understand, meaning it good, that you people will understand that we must do everything to survive. Thank you all, lovers of freedom.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mazi Gaddafi, please. Grace the house, please, in few words. Welcome to the studio. They were from here.
Thank you, Biafra. I thank you, Mazi, true survivor. I also thank you, Mr. the Prophet of the Oath, Paul Biko. Mazi Sonny, I thank you so much to keep the fire burning till this time. You know, I'm always at the noise environment, but above all, I may be off and on. Above all, I thank all the Biafran people who has been standing shoulder to shoulder with us, who is watching us right now. I thank you all, and it is clear that our leader is being held against his wish, illegal detention. Our leader is being hostage. It is clear to the whole world, and we will speak the language they will understand. They are afraid of releasing our leader, forgetting that we the other side, and we the other side are more deadly than even the one they are holding. And we will speak the language they will understand. I also thank Mazi Nnamdi, the spokesman of Biafra, and Honorable Zonka, the leader of Omada. Thank you. I thank the 24 elders of Biafra who is working shoulder to shoulder with us. I thank every Biafran that are sharing whatever we are doing, that are watching, commenting, calling, and bringing opinion. I thank you all. That you could keep you all and bless you. We all will celebrate Biafra very soon. Our leader will be free very soon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your.
I think I buy charge for mobile.
Mbega, Egolonios, Ntaga Gritch, Miaka Govt, we put on I support the block, I support the number.
It's big M a bit.
Yeah, been a long time, now they find trouble. AK1 fair, you know they find trouble. Been a long time, now they try muscle. AK1 sure, you know apply muscle. You go to government, go to bribe Mugu. AK1 fair, they on code. You brandishing arms in the farm Mugu. AK1 sure, you don't go smooth. Killing all you monkeys like a motherfucker. You think we're joking, you a motherfucker. I see bad people everywhere, and the government mad people everywhere. Aragabandiara, you the eye my fatherland, they bompandiara. Man, I'm off table now, man, bukwandiara. If I catch you from my farm, he got body diara. Hey, cause anything for bush, he be bush meat. Anything for bush, he be bush meat. Anything for bush, he be bush meat. If they catch you at the bush, you be bush meat. Anything for bush, he be bush meat. Anything for bush, he be bush meat. Anything for bush, he be bush meat. If I catch you in the bush, you be bush meat. Ah, mad people everywhere.
I support the block, I support the number.
It's bullshit. It's big M a bit.
Yeah. Anything for bush, he be bush meat. You be bush baby, bush rat, or you be bush pig. Anything for bush, not for picnic. We go fry the meats with the heat from the click. After Janja, we done smoking ganja. They then begin to feel they can fly. Hana Tancha. I'm talking life, yeah, you talking cows. You can't fix stupid, wallah, me no doubt. Yeah, me no doubt. Yeah, it's unfortunate. They're all about their cows and they copulated. They infected, they need be inoculated. Mad cow disease, aboculated. My dick don't give the go ahead. If you see alien in the farm, in a motherland, you should give them the ESN. That's what they deserve. It's been a long time that they mad, that they mess around. Cause ain't it for bush, it be bush meat. Ain't it for bush, it be bush meat. Ain't it for bush, it be bush meat. If they catch in at the bush, you be bush meat. Ain't it for bush, it be bush meat. Ain't it for bush, it be bush meat. Ain't it for bush, it be bush meat. If I catch you in the bush, you be bush meat. My people everywhere.
You come to Ebema, you come to Aguleri, you come to Ipob, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to the Niger Republic, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for you, Nigeria is still where? I think you should maybe not. You are insane.
All right. Wonderful people of Biafra, we thank you all for joining us. We are very happy to be here because we must continue the mandate which Chukwokike gave us to do and what MNK instructed all Biafrans to do before now. So the flag must continue to fly above sea level. And if you have not been doing something before, the hour has come which you have to do something in your enclaves, because the time we are in now is very dangerous. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still remains discharged and acquitted. As we speak now, the appeal court had already set him free. So what the zoo government are doing now is to buy time. So if tomorrow you hear that we have left appeal court and we are going to Supreme Court, you should not be surprised, because it is the mandate of British that they have given to the zoo government. It's a game that they have to play. The video of the court ruling of today has been there, and many people will say, it's business as usual. It's the same message that we've had before. But there's something you need to understand, that to everything that is happening, it should serve as a lesson for many people that have been castigating the Biafran people of our quest for freedom. They should understand that we have been proven and vindicated beyond reasonable doubt that Nigeria is actually a zoo. Someone told me it's even worse than a zoo and is looking for a better name to give it to. So I don't know a name that my comrades would love to give to one Nigeria. Now, we put this thing here on the screen because of the time that we have found ourselves. This happened far back in our history, right? But as we speak to you now, the zoo government are making use of this water that you see now to destroy lives and properties, and they have swayed into making use of another one, which is to come and burn the livelihoods of our people and then destroy what they have, so that they will cripple everything. It's a method of warfare. People should understand it, because the call for no election in Biafra land continues and will continue to stand. That is why you must see all these things coming up. Now, to my comrades in the studio, Mazi Chuk Survivor, please, from today's update of the court, what can you tell Biafrans from today's update? Have you been briefed of today's update from the court? Or should we get the video and play to hear what Michael Sikome said?
I've watched the video. I've got a briefing.
Okay, go on, please. Your message to Biafrans in line with the outcome of today's court appearance.
Thank you so much, my brother. Fellow Biafrans, today is another day that confirms everything that we've been talking about and we've been saying. You see, just like as I used to say that every day you wake up, you go to the media, you come to social media, you see a reason why you must get out of the Zoological Republic. When you hear the briefing that came out today, you will still see that audacity of the Fulanis playing out again. First time you hear that you heard that they transferred the judges who passed the judgment in the appeal court the first time. They transferred them to various places and sent them out, and they brought new people. That in itself is an indictment to the government that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to get justice. That in itself is showing that whatever they are trying to cook up there is false and cannot stand anywhere. But I want every Biafran to have at the back of your mind that you must not have faith in the court of the enemy. That is the most important thing. Do not put your faith in the court of the enemy, regardless what their court says. Don't put your faith in the court of the enemy. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains in your hand, remains in my hand. It is what we do. What we do is what we decide. Either Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be freed or not. Because when you hear what Zakuma was explaining and the argument they have at hand, the argument they are making, according to Zakuma, the major argument they have there is that releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be a security threat to the nation. And this is another narrative that they want to push out there. That is why every Biafran, as you are watching on the comment section, please share this video. Share this video. Click like and share this video. Let it go to everybody. The media war, we cannot fight it alone. You in the comment section will help us to fight this battle by making sure that every information you get here gets to the right source. Keep on sharing. You never can tell who it will get into their hand. They have already marked out a strategy to change the narrative. The narrative you are going to start to hear from their conventional media today now is releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be a security threat. Releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be a security threat. They will begin to sing it and it will seem to be true in the eyes of those who doesn't know what is happening on the ground, in the eyes of those foreigners. But let me ask this question. Who is the cause of the insecurity in that Zoological Republic? It is the government itself, starting from the north. It is the government themselves that formed the Boko Haram we are talking about. The Boko Haram that is the major cause of the insecurity, they are formed by the government. Even one of the sponsors and people that formed it is today contesting for vice president in that same Zoological Republic. One of their sponsors is a governor. And they are telling you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a security threat. What has Mazi Nnamdi Kanu got to do with the insecurity in Nigeria? This is a fact that the whole world must know. The people that created the insecurity you are seeing in Nigeria today is the Zoological Republic themselves. In your presence, they released members of Boko Haram and they reintegrated them into the military and the police. In your presence, they have continued to release members of Boko Haram. In your presence, Boko Haram break their prison and they went and rescue some of their tough members. And up to today, you have never heard that those people were caught or they pursued them or they followed them. Instead, what you see is that the Boko Haram that they recruit, they now pump them to the southeast to go and create insecurity in Biafraland. Every single insecurity I've seen in Biafraland today is created by the government, caused by the government, including the unknown government themselves. They are formed by the government. After you have killed a family, took the life of a man, took the life of a wife, took the life of a mother, made people orphan, made people childless, rendered people home useless, destroy people's home, destroy their business. What else did the man have to lose? Then when those men begin to fight back, you blame them for fighting back. Every single insecurity you see in the Zoological Republic is caused by the government itself. So let no man begin to preach a gospel and begin to tell you that releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to create insecurity. This is a lie from the pit of hell. And this is the narrative they want to push on their media. The narrative that we will never allow to stand. just as they were pushing the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu issue of jumping bail. Issue of jumping bail. If not for the strength of the media of Biafran people, we were on social media shouting that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never jump bail. The evidences are everywhere. The videos was posted on social media. Their conventional media could not be able to post the video of the attack in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house. It's on social media that all those things went out, and we were able to bring it down. That one is there today. Their media helped them to begin to push it. They continue to use that narrative until today, until of recent. Until of recent, after this judgment, that is when they stopped using that narrative of jumping bail. But to show you that you cannot shame the shameless, they still come in their court today and they were still talking about that issue of jumping bail. You cannot shame the shameless. In a court where 3 judges unanimously said, let him go. Not 1 judge against 2, not 2 against 1. The 3 judges. And yet, they are bent on holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. My joy from the very first day I have said it, that my joy is that today, we Biafrans, we have been vindicated. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been innocent all this while. And today, every single thing we are doing is justified. And that is why we have to step up the game. We have to step it up. Anything you are doing now, double it. It is what we do that will free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in the hand of their court, not in the hand of any judge or any lawyer or the United Nations or whoever. It's in your hand, it's in my hand. Whatever we do to intensify in our civil disobedience, that is the only thing that is going to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Intensifying the water. Make sure you continue to pursue that freedom, the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu requires, which is Biafra. In the few days that we have to get into Biafra, stand firm, pay attention to every information you get. That is the way to go. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Mazi Chook Survivor, for your submission. Mazi 555 Vision, what do you see, or what can you extract from the action of the Nigerian terrorist government removing the chief judges that sat on the adjudication case the day they gave the verdict of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is discharged and acquitted? He stands no charges of any kind because of the way he was tortured brutally and then brought down to Nigeria against his own will, breaching all international standards and even local standards. What do you pick, or what message can you send to Biafrans in line with the actions of one Nigerian government removing all these judges that sat down to do what is supposed to have been done?
Yeah, thank you, my comrade. You know, before we all come up to speak concerning Nigeria, is because we know them already. We know what they can do. We know their strategy. Nigeria is a lawless country, which the whole world know, and they are benefiting from it. Nigeria is a place where truth is not allowed to be said. And Nigeria is a place where every other person like to hide himself even when you know the truth. So removing those people is one of the Fulani strategy and the strategy of the Nigerian system. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made us to understand that if we fight for Biafra independent, just like every other country get their independence, that it will be very difficult for us, and the Biafra can never be free. The only way we will get Biafra is through a different strategy, because we already know that Nigeria is a lawless country. We already know they will remove those people. Even all the leaders, religious leaders, chiefs, councils that refuse to speak the truth, they knew already that when they say the truth, they will be removed in the office. So many of them decide to keep quiet for them not to be released, removed in their offices. And many of them support the system, the bad government. This is the system, how Nigeria grown up the citizens and working under their government. I can't tell you that we don't even expect that such a thing will happen. But glory to God that inside the Court of Appeal, the Court of Appeal has passed a good judgment in the favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, giving him discharge and they are acquitted. As they are still detaining Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the whole world is watching. And as we are going up, trying to understand different things that concern Nigeria and the whole world, what the whole world is looking up to us is to see what we can do and how we are going to come out of this mess. I am not even thinking that the international community will come in that manner, because these same particular people are the people who is supporting this oil pipe and stealing oil in Nigeria, selling it in their own land. So they know already, but the only system to restore Biafra and stop all this impunity going on is the strategy which Simon Ekpa is putting in place today, stopping election in Biafraland. For us not to have any candidate that will go to Abuja answering the representative of Biafran people. So these are the strategies to break it down, because we know when you say the truth in Nigeria, it's either they come for your life or they will remove you from office. But God has using those people to pass justice, and they are being removed. Before removing those people know already that they will be removed. But they decided to do the work to save mankind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much for your contributions. Biafran people have to understand and keep watching. While that wish will happen, will as well be happening. The whole world will also understand the strides of Biafrans and how far and how long. From 2015 to this time, it's been like 7 years, if I'm not mistaken with my calculations. And it has been from one torture, one persecution, one annihilation, maiming and destruction of lives and properties to another. And the whole world will not tell you that they are not aware of it. That is why, at this very time, just like Biko said, we have to use a different strategy to speak our voices and make it be louder than words. Let's watch what our erudite judge or lawyer said about what happened. For those that did not get the updates, and if you have already watched this video, please take this one with joy.
Come back. Don't worry. Come here now. Make him come back. Okay. Come back. All right. I know. Let him come to this place. Let us sit, sir. Let him come closer. Please. Please, sir, there's a quick one, right? The council to the federal government has. Especially when they said that releasing him because of the national security situation in the southeast.
All you have to tell about that,
Yeah,
and just generally what happened.
They started the case of Asari Dokubo, which is not relevant, which was an application to enforce his fundamental rights. And the federal government said the right of one individual cannot override state security. This is not the case here. This Court of Appeal has already found that the lower court was wrong in retaining 7 out of the 15-count charge. And so this court also dismissed the remaining 7 counts and said Nnamdi Kanu is discharged. Discharged means you have no case against you. A very responsible government, all they will do is to let that young man go home, particularly as we have shown in our affidavit evidence and documents that is gravely ill, has a heart condition, which a specialist doctor has said needs an urgent surgery. And they have no answer to his medical conditions. All they are doing, when they feel that his potassium level is too high, they either increase the dosage or decrease it. So they are just using Nnamdi Kanu as a guinea pig, trial by error. So we responded that there is no question of saying releasing Nnamdi Kanu will bring unrest in the Southeast. As a matter of fact, it is the release of Nnamdi Kanu that will bring about peace and tranquility, not only in the Southeast, but in the entire country. And I gave the court the example. When the court made its judgment or pronounced its judgment on the 13th of this month, the entire Southeast went wide with jubilation. They were drinking, eating, dining, and dancing on the streets. For the next 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, from Owerri to Aba, from Umuahia to Enugu, from Onitsha to Abagana, from Umuchu, Ekulobia, Amesi, Uga, to Njukoka, from Abakaliki to Enugu, from Port Harcourt to Aba, everywhere. The Igbos are happy, and they are looking forward to this judgment that once Nnamdi Kanu is released, there will be peace in the Southeast. 2023 elections will come very well. I thought, I do not know who advises this government. If I were their advisor, I would say, sir, Mr. President, let my people go. And with Nnamdi Kanu leaving prisons, don't forget, any day they hold him further from 13th of October is illegal detention. We are already going to court with a fundamental rights enforcement matter. So it is releasing Nnamdi Kanu that will bring about peace and tranquility, not detaining him. And we have also argued that the court cannot stay the liberty of a citizen. That was why we cited the case of Gloria Mowari versus Nigerian Army. Ulisagbakoba SA, my good friend, handled that matter. I was detained with Ulisagbakoba over that coup of April 1990. We were detained at Child Avenue by the DMI in Apapa, near a toilet, with soakaways, with maggots and human feces coming out so as to punish us. And in that case, Gloria Mowari was 7 months pregnant. She miscarried because of the traumatic the ordeal, psychological, mental, physical that she went through. And when they went to court, the court said they should release her because she was discharged, just as Nnamdi Kanu was discharged here. What did they do? The federal government filed an appeal in that case against a woman who was detained under Decree Number 2, under IBB, when the military was the military. And they also filed a motion for stay of execution. 2 justices' pronouncements were very hard on the federal government. Justice Atu Kalgo, who later was elevated to the Supreme Court, and Justice Kolawole, Owolabi Kolawole. They said, you are asking the court to stay execution. It's like asking the court to stay execution of the liberty of a citizen. That you are a contemnor. And being a contemnor, you are slapping us on the face by telling us to stay the execution. Do you know how they put it? He said it is like a sinner telling God that, look, God, I know I am sinning, but please help me, aid me to continue to sin. He said even God will not grant that sinner's request. He said in that same vein, we will not grant this request. This was the same Court of Appeal sitting in Lagos. And we are talking of as far back as 1992. What has changed? Ojukwu and Governor of Lagos State. It's clear. Governor of Lagos State versus Ojukwu, both the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, they made it clear that you can't be in contempt of a court procedure and come before us again asking for an equitable remedy, because stay of execution is an equitable remedy, which is based solely on the discretion of the court. He who comes to equity must come with clean hands, and he who comes to equity must do equity. You have not done equity. You are coming with soiled hands. That was why the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal said, you have thrown Ojukwu out of his Velasca Lodge at Queen's Drive, Ikoyi. We told you, take him back. You refuse to take him back, yet you are coming before us to ask for a stay of execution. We will not grant it. We have cited all these cases to show that even the point they were happy on, that Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail, we have shown through the exhibits that were attached. Nnamdi Kanu never jumped bail. He was granted bail and he was enjoying the bail. And the case was again to come up in October 2017. Then suddenly, like Fela will put it in one of his epic songs, the federal government through Operation Python on the 14th of September 2017 invaded ferociously with a multitude of army the ancestral home of Nnamdi Kanu, with his father Eze Kanu also there. In that brutal invasion, 28 unarmed and innocent Nigerians were hacked down in cold blood. We have put all of them. That was how Nnamdi Kanu managed to escape. A person escaping for his dear life cannot be said to be a person jumping bail. You jump bail when you voluntarily run away. But this was a man not running away, but not jumping bail, but running away for his dear life. And as soon as he got to Israel, he deposed an affidavit and reported the matter to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, which wrote to the federal government. We executed it. Don't forget that on the 20th of July this year, the United Nations Working Group against arbitrary detention delivered a ruling after giving the federal government and the government of Kenya a fair hearing on the judicial rendition or an extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu on the 26th of June 2021, after he was accosted, blindfolded, brutally tortured on the 19th, between 19th and 26th, for about 8 good days in Kenya. A private jet was walking. They went around the security agency, the immigration. They didn't pass through. They forcefully rendered him back to Nigeria. And the law is that when you do that without going through extradition proceedings, you cannot try the person. At this court of appeal so far. The second one is what we call the doctrine of specialty, which this court also agree with, that even if Nnamdi Kanu were to be brought in properly through proper and lawful extradition proceedings, you can only try him for the offense you are bringing him back, not for any pre-existing offense, including the 5-count charge that was earlier existing, which they amended to 7 counts, which they later amended to 15 counts. For your information, the federal government has amended Nnamdi Kanu's charge 7 times because they have never been ready with prosecuting the matter. They are happy just keeping him. So this court said, you can't try him on those same charges. And the lower court was right. Justice Binta Nyako, she struck out 8 of the 15 counts. We were not satisfied. We came before this court, and this same court also struck out the remaining 7 counts and discharged Nnamdi. The Supreme Court has said that discharge in such a case also means acquittal. So Nnamdi Kanu has been acquitted. Because they can, like this court said, you can never try Nnamdi Kanu on those offenses before he ran away for his dear life. So what is it that will bring peace? Releasing Nnamdi Kanu. The medical doctors with DSS, the federal government doctor, have no answer to Nnamdi Kanu's heart ailment. He suffers depleting potassium, All they will do at times, they come and increase dosage. They will lower the dosage. They are using Nnamdi Kanu, as we submitted today, as a guinea pig, without knowing what is wrong with him. Now, they have refused a second opinion from a specialist doctor, as Joseph Bintanyako ordered. Now, you should allow a specialist doctor to come in. All the applications we have made to the DSS or the SSS to allow Nnamdi Kanu, they have rejected them. But the specialist doctor's opinion, we were able to get it, and we have attached it also as an exhibit, that if Nnamdi Kanu is not released immediately, he may die in their hands and in prison. If they want to know what will really cause brouhaha, ruckus, and wahala, it is keeping Nnamdi Kanu and allowing him to die, for example, in detention. Dead men don't stand trial. Sick men are even given medical treatment to ensure that they are fit and strong to stand trial. That is why we say, come and stand trial. Have you ever heard somebody say, come and sit down trial? Have you ever heard somebody say, come and prostrate trial? Have you ever heard somebody say, come and kneel down, or come and lie down trial? No, it is come and stand trial. It is taking that you are strong enough to be able to stand through that trial. So I am here begging the federal government.
All right. Mazi Biko, do you have something to say from the video of our lawyer before we move on?
Yeah, thank you again for the opportunity. You know, after the court discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the Nigerian government decided to hold him behind, Malami said that letting Nnamdi Kanu go is like releasing all the eastern zone. They know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the light of all entire Africa. They know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands for peace. They know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands for joy. They know all these things, what he represents. He is not a violent man. He is a peaceful man. But light and darkness doesn't work together. Light always wins. That's why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them in the court, he said, Buhari, you cannot jail me in your own court. You have no evidence to jail me. All those things are things common reality. He told them before they gave him freedom the other time, they know they cannot jail Nnamdi Kanu. That's why they bring Operation Python Dance to come and kill him, because they know. Now, Nnamdi Kanu has been extradited, yet Buhari cannot jail Nnamdi Kanu. He has been staying in the SS dungeon since all those while, because they have nothing to jail him for. Why are they afraid? They are afraid of Igbo people to have happiness, to have joy, to rejoice for peace to come back to this world again. The whole world knows that whenever Biafra comes, peace will return back to this universe. But the Fulani are the people who never need anyone to have joy in this surface of earth. So it is left for us, not even calling United Nations, not even calling European Union, not even calling any of these people anymore, than to follow the real strategy on how to restore Biafra. Biafra remains 132 days from today, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, just like my topic today is, if we follow Biafran restoration just like every other person and every other country that has gained their freedom, we are going to make mistake. That is my message. But we have to follow a different angle, which is no election in Biafran land. A different strategy, because sit at home every Monday is speaking volume all over the world. We are telling you what we have witnessed. We have traveled almost all over the world asking people, even in internet. They know that sit at home is a modern way of powerful agitation in this world, created by Igbo people. And mind you, all of you watching, we are here trying to give you things, ideas, how to get your freedom. Listen, the whole world has granted Igbo people as the most intelligent people living on this planet Earth. And mind you, try to remember that Igbo people created democracy, which America is enjoying, which Britain is enjoying, which Canada is enjoying, which Australia is enjoying. All the countries you see today living good and living in peace, they inherited it from Igbo people. But what happened? After they have found out that Igbo people are overstrong, they went back and began to study the secret of Igbo people. They said the only way to penetrate inside them is to enter them and divide them, telling you that Sonia Barawa is thinking bad about you when it's not true, that true survival want to kill you when it's not true, and the small time they will buy your idea. That is the only way they have been able to create this thing they call divide and rule. So from today, we have already known the secret of Fulanis. That's why we are not giving up on what we are doing, that we are going to stay at home that day. And the God said, when he asked Jeremiah, whom will I send? Jeremiah said, and all the people they are reading in the Bible today, he said, this is me, send me. This is what Sania Barawa said, God, here I am, send me. This is what True Survivor said, God, here I am, send me. This is what Gaddafi said, God, where I am, send me. This is what Osno Okonkwo said, God, this is me, send me. This is 247 said, God, this is me, send me. We are working on media to make sure you get this information, get motivated, promote yourself that going back to Egypt is dead on arrival. We have crossed the Rubicon, and whatever we see there, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, even if it is one man and one woman left, as Biafra is declared, they should continue to rebuild the country, that we have paid the price. That is it. So I hold it here. Thank you.
Each country now must consider.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you. Mazi Chuk Survival, will you agree with me with all the happenings? And could you give a kind of some torchlight in line with what you have just seen that is happening now? Then with the conclusion that history has been wiped off of the Nigerian curriculum because of Biafra. The mic is yours, please.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for the question you just asked. I think that's what you said. I agree with you 100% that it was because of Biafra that history was hidden away from the people. It is very, very clear that. And the one thing with this Fulani is that when they are doing their thing, they don't even hide it. They do it in the open. That is why I always talk about their audacity. They don't care what you think or what you are doing. They do it in the open. It is because of Biafra that they took away history. You saw when one of our brother in the coastal region, one of our brother, Ben Bruce was asking them in the Senate. Ben Bruce was asking them in the Senate, why did you remove the bite of Biafra from the map? He was asking that question in the Senate, and there was no answer. Now, why did they remove the bite of Biafra from the map? So you can see that all the history that they took away, it was just because of Biafra. And I want every Biafrans, wherever you're watching from, you must not be distracted. You must not be distracted. This is a time when we have to fight as Biafrans. This is a time when we have to be our brother's keeper. This is the time when you have to leave, forget about every gossip. Forget about every gossip. It doesn't matter your location, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter what you believe in, it doesn't matter the section you belong. This is a time that you have to prove whom you are. A time you have to pursue one thing, which is your freedom. Because the enemy that we're up against is not relenting. The enemy we're up against is the Pharaoh of today. Very, very stubborn. Very stubborn. In their own case, it might even be worse than that of Pharaoh. Pharaoh saw many miracles that Moses did. He never let the children of Israel go until when he saw death. It was when he saw death that he let them go. Even when they were going, he still chased them. So, in this situation that we are now, we are seeing another Pharaoh, another stubborn Pharaoh. Even when their own court has pronounced Mazi Nnamdi Kanu innocent, in their own court, they still went ahead and began to talk trash on that same judgment that they passed. Even when they know that what they are saying doesn't hold water. Even when they know very well that what they're saying doesn't hold water, they go ahead and continue to say what they are saying. The Fulanis don't care about it. And you see, most of the time when we are talking about this issue, it is very important that anybody that is watching, including those who are not Biafra, this struggle is not just for Biafras alone. We are not just speaking for Biafras alone. This affects every indigenous tribe in the contraption called Nigeria. Injustice against one is injustice against all. But it's so sad that in Nigeria mainly, people do not react until when something affects them directly. People do not react until when it is somebody who is from their own area, or somebody who is from their own family, or somebody who is in their own blood, directly from them. And most of the time, you find people blaming the victim instead of the oppressor. They blame the oppressed instead of blaming the oppressor. Injustice against one is justice. Today, it is Biafrans that are speaking. And even as we Biafrans are fighting, this fight we are fighting, it is to liberate every indigenous tribe in that zoological republic. In as much as the Biafrans are leading the fight, it is not just our fight. The injustice you are seeing today, in that country called Nigeria has become much more clearer than ever. And I see no reason why somebody will see all this and yet you are talking about election. In a situation where a country that is so lawless that even when their own court pronounce judgment, they will go against it. A country that claims that they have three arms of the government. They have the judiciary, the legislature, and the presidency. But all of a sudden, all the three arms are now under one, controlled by one. And they are not stopping. In your presence here, a chief justice was removed, or Noge was removed. And nobody reacted. Simply because it is not from your village. It's not from your town. It's not from your city. People didn't react. Nigeria Union of Journalists could not react. They didn't do anything because of the division they have already. Some of them did not speak because it is not somebody from their own town, not from their village, not their own brother. But today you have seen the implication of that thing the people did not react to. It is still the implication of the removal of Onoge that is still playing out today. They can be boldly remove people they want to remove and throw them anywhere they want to throw them to. They can boldly disobey the law, not to follow the judgment of the law. A court that is established in that same zoological republic, their own court, pronounced a man innocent. 3 judges, not 1, not 2. And yet, they are still standing against it. And after seeing all this injustice, after seeing this lawless country, you still see somebody talking about election. But I thank Chukwu Okike Abiama that we are on the right path. That today, Chukwu Okike Abiama, through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, gave us somebody, a spokesperson, who is standing firm, focusing on the real thing, When you talk about the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi, what I see as the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Biafra. For me personally, what I see as freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Biafra and nothing else. That is the only thing that will guarantee Mazi Nnamdi Kanu freedom. Unless you're looking for a freedom that will be like the one they gave him in 2015. When he gets home, they will send military after him to begin to go and kill him. Even while he was preparing to come to court. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu announced, I am coming to court with 1 million men. They didn't wait for him to come to court. They went to his house to kill him. Is that the kind of freedom you still want for him? I think the best freedom that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserves is Biafra. A nation whereby he will be totally free. He will not be answerable to any court in the zoo. Not you bring him out today, tomorrow you tell him to come to court and begin to answer. Answer to who? That is why every Biafra must wake up and focus. We have to be more focused on actualization of Biafra. The liberation stage that we are in now, this liberation stage, we must take it very, very, very serious. Forward ever and backward never. Whatever you have been doing that got us to this very place that we are now, intensify it, increase it. Anything you have been doing that brought us to this level that we are, increase it. If you have been fasting alone before, increase your fasting. If it is 6 to 6, make it dry fasting. If it is prayer, pray more. If it is contribution, if you have been contribution less, increase your contribution. If you're sitting at home, sit at home more. If you're broadcasting, increase your times. If you are supporting on the background, sharing video, make the video go viral. Don't just share and keep quiet. Make it go viral. Share in more platforms. Whatever you have been doing before, do it more. Now we have more rights to do what we are doing because we have been vindicated. Every action we take today is verified, is validated by the Zoological Republic itself, because they are holding an innocent man whom their own court has pronounced innocent. How can you stay in such kind of illegality and be talking trash? How can he be in at this point in time? You will still see somebody talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu jumping bail. Is it not laughable? It is so sad that you cannot shame the shame. You cannot shame the shameless. That is why we must focus on the liberation of Biafra. We must focus on liberation. That is the only freedom we can give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do not have faith in the court of the enemy. Thank you, my brother.
Mazi, let Obi go ahead because his mouth is itching. Obi, go right on.
Yes, I want to emphasize a little concerning the question you asked. Removing history out of the school. You know, this is the real problem Nigerians has. Everybody inside Nigeria. This is the real problem. Government Britain advised Fulanese to remove history out of school curriculum. For the people, for the indigenous Nigerians, not to know the meaning of discharge and acquitted. They remove history out of school. That is why you see divide and rule going on. For people not to know. There is a video that has been circulating. I don't know if you have the video. When they are telling Asari Dakubo his Igbo name, they are telling Ankyo Bridge his Igbo name, and how all of them are one. And the people of River State, they say they are 75% more unpopular than any other tribe found in River State. But because of lack of unity, Igbo people cannot rule River State. Why? Because they remove history out of school. When they remove history out of school, this is automatic divide and rule. You see people of Asaba, you ask them, what is your name? He say, my name is Nnamdi. What is your name? My name is Chukwudi. Are you Igbo? He will say, no, I am not Igbo. I am Middle Belt. I am South. Because they remove history out of the school. Removing history out of school has affected Igbo people that they don't even know the meaning of their names. Someone will have a name like Chidimma. The person bearing Chidimma doesn't know the meaning of Chidimma, but the person is bearing Chidimma for the past 40 years of his life. Somebody is bearing Chibikem. He don't even know how to make the use of that name, Chibikem. When you want to declare Biafra, you need such name. Those people that has those names related to God supposed to be the people speaking today. But because they remove history out of school, none of them know the meaning of their name, their native name, and even in the school. They went to school, they give them Bible. Why is it that a religious knowledge, a religious religion is allowed, religious knowledge is allowed to study in the school, but they don't authorize them to teach them something like a Torah or Catholic Bible that contain apostrophe. This is always where I channel my program whenever I am doing program, because we have been able to understand how these people have been able to manipulate the brain of our people. Automatic divide and rule. How does it happen? They remove history out of school that you don't even know you are left from your right. Biafrans, we are asking you people to subscribe and share this message. Let it begin to go viral. As we are seeing numbers here, we'll be getting more energy, because this is, we are going to finish. It is time for everybody to get up. As you write comments, as we are talking, keep on writing comments so that we can be able to be more provoked. True survivors have said it here. If you are praying, increase it. If you know you can go to Ukosibia to consult whatever you can consult, go there. It is time you call Chinki Nefe, the God you are calling. It's time to consult that God now, because oh no moment, this is the time. Thank you for now.
Thank you, Mazi. Mazi Chuk survivor. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had called on the Eastern leaders and rulers for them to set up a security network that will curtail the menace of the Fulani herdsmen in our lands. Videos of our women and children were scattering all over in the bushes when they went in, and then they were chopped to pieces like onions and vegetable leaves. MNK talked to them. They nullified MNK. They said MNK is a small boy. He's far back there in Europe. He does not understand what governance is all about. Until when we saw that everything has gone beyond control, MNK had to set up ESN. Now, in the same vein that MNK set up ESN, and the Biafran people have unanimously embraced and loved ESN and taken it to be their own protection, which have been protecting them since MNK has been behind bars for now. When we played the State of the Nation broadcast of the spokesperson of Biafra, there was one strategy that they came up with in order to be able to cope the planned attack of burning of trucks and livelihoods and destruction of lives and properties, which is serving as a means of jihad, which will focus on the economic part of the jihad, thereby resulting in what? Reducing the number, reducing food supply, reducing everything that is useful for you to use in a time like this. Remember that there is flood disaster that has engulfed the entire Biafra land. If not 100%, let me say 70% of Biafra land, especially where things normally happen that boost the economy and boost food supplies to our people. And now they have also made use of another warfare. Our spokesperson just made a declaration which he appealed to the market unions for them to come up with Eastern Civil Defense Team, whichever name they can give it. But that team is to make sure they are able to cope the menace that will be happening, because we are in a different dimension now. Now, my question to you is, with the reaction or the way that our leaders or our rulers had reacted when ESN was thrown to them on the table, and then instead of them to embrace it, they decided to use it as an inimical factor. What message will you give to the people in line with the advantages of this Eastern Civil Defense Team, which the Biafran government in exile have proposed to them to put in place? Because this same team will be used in another way to be sending emergency supply needs to our people. If you look at what is happening now, I have not seen the government or some of the big people in power or in the country removing money from their big pockets to shower blessings on our people that are dying where water have destroyed their lives. But Biafran people, Biafran government in exile is already projecting a plan for them to be able to cope the menace that will be happening. What is your message to the people of Biafra, and in line with this message, and especially to the people in these market unions and communities, which have to go in line with this?
Thank you so much, my brother. I'm so happy you brought that up, and I think that brokers that our spokesperson Mazi Nnamdi made is one of the most important brokers we have at this point in time. And that brokers is something that has to reach to every Biafran, wherever they are. If you are sincerely a Biafran and you know what we are talking about when we talk about freedom, after watching that brokers, you will know the stage we are and where we are heading to. After watching that broadcast, if you are a true Biafran and you are fighting along for freedom, it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter the angle you belong. It doesn't matter who you say you belong or who you support. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your tribe or your location. After watching that broadcast, if you don't have a change of mind and know where we are, that means you are not human. In that broadcast, I saw so many informations. And I believe Biafran saw so many information in that very broadcast when he was explaining the strategies on the way forward. Everything that Mazi Nnamdi said there is to let you know what is going to happen in the next minute. Is the preparation of the Biafrans, our preparation. When we are talking about going into Biafra in days, not in years, counting days, the preparation have started. And my major advice that I will give to Biafran people, this is a time that every one of us have to activate the humanity in us. You have to activate that humanity in you to play a major role in this very area that we are in. Mainly to all those market men and anybody in Biafra, not only the market people. You have to be ready to make this sacrifice. You have to be ready to sacrifice anything that is available to you that will be used. Mazi Nnamdi made mention of schools. He made mention of the fields, including people's homes will be used. Your car might be used. And the only way we can be able to survive this is for us to activate the humanity in us. This is the time that Biafrans have to work hand in hand. When you hear about Onyaga and Wanniye, that is what that message is all about. When you hear the cry of your brother, wherever you are, you must pay attention. Because we are in a critical, when we begin to talk about this critical stage, you think it's a joke. But after seeing Mazi Nnamdi begin to narrate those things, begin to narrate and give those instructions, you begin to understand better where we are heading to. We are heading to a very difficult stage. And the only way we can survive it is by watching each other's back. The market union, they have to form that very security thing. They can call it anything. He said they can call it anything. They can give it any name. You know, most of the time when you use this term security, people begin to shake. If using the term security is good, they can give it any name. But let there be a humanitarian group that we run forward to support anything that happens within Biafra land. Things are going to happen. Maybe some of you who didn't believe that something is going to happen, if you don't believe that something is going to happen, after watching that broadcast, you will now begin to see clear what is about to happen. Everything you are seeing now is just a little thing. After watching that program, that Mazi Nnamdi, just calm down, watch every instruction he gave, then you will know what we are going into and what is about to happen. And the only thing I expect every Biafran is to make sure they activate the humanity in them. It doesn't matter what your brother have done for you in the past. It doesn't matter the angle you belong. It doesn't matter if you're a member of IPOB or not a member of IPOB. It doesn't matter if you support autopilot or you don't support autopilot. It doesn't matter if you like Mazi Nnamdi or you don't like him. It doesn't matter if you hate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or you don't like him. as long as you're a Biafran in Biafra land, the war is coming. The war is coming, and it wasn't fought.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
You have explained a bit, and everyone can extract something from it. Mazi Biko, I presume you are in the Western world. That is, if I am wrong, I presume you are in the Western world. And I believe you have seen how emergency fighting units, maybe like the emergency firefighting unit or the rescue team, works. Why is it that now you see our land ravaged with this so-called flood, as they call it, whereas it is a planned thing that was planned long time ago to open it when it is the right time and then put them all together to reduce our number, to put fear in us so that our resolves will be deteriorated. Do you understand that this flood alone can bring crocodile from wherever it is and it come and consume somebody? Have people even thought of how many numbers of people are dead? Let me explain something before I give you the mic. In a community, before you count 100 houses, then if you check those 100 houses, before you count the next one, you will see like 10 or 5 disabled people. Now, you will see an aged mother, you will see an aged father, you might likely see a blind or a lame. You will see too many less privileges. Then when this water disaster or flood disaster came, babies that were sleeping in their sleep, those babies have not woken up. Mothers that were lying down on the bed with the babies to call the baby to sleep, they just woke up to saw themselves in the dead world. Because when you see the level of the water, the disaster, the way it has gone, it is not something that they should be using to play politics. Why is it that up till now, or how do you see this intentional way of neglecting their responsibility? How do you see it? Because I am supposed to have been seeing a life survival kit now being distributed in all these areas where there are disasters. Does it actually mean that in one Nigeria, which is the main reason why Biafrans are breaking up and say no election in Biafra land, so that this kind of menace can be curtailed in future, we can have a good life? Why is there nothing that has been done to even help the people? Because we are going to play a video here that will make some people to cry.
Yeah, man, as you are explaining this thing, I feel like shedding tears here. The consequences is it's unimaginable. But as you go on explaining, it came to my mind that it is in the record that the powers of the world, just like I live in the developed world, the same people say that the life of those people in Africa is not a priority. That's why you have not seen life jet, rescue team, and every other thing, because they say the life of those people is not a priority. The world is carrying something like a reduction of population, that the population of human being is too much. But the question I am asking, why should Igbo people, Biafrans, accept someone to reduct them? The person who is carrying the contract to reduct you, why can't you save the contract and they reduct that person? This is the two things playing here, life and darkness. I imagine how sharks will be floating as well through Atlantic Ocean, crocodile, river snake, and different kind of disease, which is coming from the ocean, from the flood. It's unimaginable. And when you analyze this thing, you will see that this is automatic jihad. You ask my brother, Choose a Survivor, a question here concerning ESN. When they come with the agenda of Furuga, the agenda of Furuga was ethnic cleansing, killing the people, and the option they give to us is surrender your land, surrender every other thing you have, become a slave, or you go underground, 6 feet. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called all Eastern leaders and told them, this people is coming in 2022. Their attack, nobody can stop their attack because the secret of Fulanis has been revealed. He said in 2022 is going to be hot. What will be happening will be like a film. It is better for you people to wake up from the sleep. Be at alert. Then Eastern leaders, they called him soy. Nneyanwodo called him small boy. George Obiozo called him small boy. George Obiozo went as far as reducing Ihedi Ohama and putting the other guy, governor appointee, and they removed the will of me and you. He took them out of office from number 4th to 1st. Then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, give us security to protect our land. They refused. Then Mazi Kanu created Eastern Security Network, who came up and fight against the Fulani henchmen. The same Britain told Fulani henchmen, say, you should not be calling them Fulani henchmen, because when they mention Fulani, this thing, the name Fulani will be circulating in a bad image. You better begin to call them bandit. They changed the name and begin to call them bandit with the same agenda, with the same operation. The only people that has been able to stop them are the creation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Security Network. Now they see they cannot be able to defeat Eastern Security Network. They open the Atlantic Ocean. It becomes natural disaster, which you see the Minister of Water, he said that he blamed God for giving us enough water. If God has not given us enough water, this thing would have not been happening. But we know when Buhari, under military regime, stopped that thing under this agenda, Usman Danfodio agenda. I am asking what me and you is doing today, the job of Nigerian journalists, the people who school studied journalism, trying to bring the history the way it is. They refused to do it. And we took oath and asked God to come and lead us to deliver this message. That's why people is listening. That's why God put the word us to deliver to people so that they can hear. Now they are hearing. From us, they have been able to understand that Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. He's innocent. And the result of it is discharged and acquitted. And I will end again by reminding you that you cannot get Biafra just like any other country get Biafra. You will get Biafra through strategy. The strategy which Simon Ekpa has laid down now. And all these things you see Simon Ekpa laid down and they reviewed yesterday. They said, Onya to rilu kowarea egejilu nne ya furu ụzọ. But in this our own time, if you don't understand, we give you ourselves to explain to you. Our other abo say Igbo people, get up and defend yourself. If not, the life of Igbo people will be worse than this. I don't know, Sons of Survival, which of you know the history of eternal people here? some people online might know as well. Ocean took the land of Gitanos. That's why United Nations adopted them and they made them citizens of anywhere they found themselves. But if Igbo by themselves surrender their land to Fulanis, I don't think anybody is going to give you asylum anywhere in this world. They will call you the most useless person ever in their history. And we know that Chukwuka has put in this gospel in our mouth. And as we are sending this message, prepare to serve this Biafra and deliver this message with the 555 vision, 555 answers to defend one single question on whatever Simon ever said that place. If you don't understand it, write your comment, subscribe, and push this in so that we can establish this channel and do what exactly how God has asked us to come up. It is time or never. It is now or never, or you give away whatever that belongs to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Please, wherever you're watching from, do us the favor of hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, hitting the share button. Share it to your WhatsApp group, your Facebook groups, your profile, your pages, your Telegram, your Instagram, your Twitter. Hit that follow button as well if you're on Facebook. If you're on Twitter, hit the love button, the retweet to educate, let the message go far and wide so that you can stay updated. Now, before we play this video on the screen, I want Juke Survival to use 1 minute and explain to Biafrans what the zoo government actually means when we saw the burning of trucks in Biafra land. People should understand something, because this is part of the jihad. They have different ways of jihad. We are in the time of war. They have not declared it loudly for you to hear it, but they are using a extermination pattern. So if you are waiting for the war to be totally declared, you're making a big mistake, because they are going to use every arsenal, left, right, center, and then to destroy you. So please, Mazi Chuk Survivor, let Biafrans understand what they should perceive and what their mind should be looking up to when they saw this burning of trucks. Let them understand that it is not Biafrans that burn their trucks. No. Biafrans will not wake up and then start burning Biafrans trucks. For why? For waiting now. So we should understand where we are. Explain to them, please, what the zoo has with this plan of burning of trucks and other properties.
Thank you so much, my brother. Fellow Biafrans, what you are seeing in that burning of truck is nothing but economic war against us. And that economic war has been oncoming. And these people are so bold that they do things whenever they want to do it. You can see when we saw the burning of markets in every places where Biafrans have their markets. We saw the burning of markets. Since when we are hearing about burning of markets, have you ever seen any governor in any state investigate and tell us the cause of those fires? None of them was seen. You saw there was a moment when they were when tankers were exploding. It is only in the Biafra land that you see tankers, they carry fuel, they come out and they explode. And people were not paying attention. All this were economic war targeted on our businesses. They didn't stop there. You saw them went to market and begin to burn markets, burn houses, and burn properties in Biafra land. This is nothing but economic war against Biafran people. And today they have taken it to another level, burning down all the trucks that are bringing materials to the southeast. They want to burn it down and they want to make sure that the economic war intensifies, make things very expensive. Just as we have been preaching on our brokers, and we had my Samuel ever say it, get necessary requirements that you have. Stock up food for yourself. Those food material you need, stock it up for yourself. When we say certain things, people take it for a joke. You have to get some necessary and stock. A time will come when you will have no market to go to. Even if you have your money, the only security you must have that time might be to just stay at home. When we say it, people don't take it serious. Man, someone like I said it several times in his platform. Get stock up food for yourself. If you're in Biafraland, stock up food. All those necessary food items, all those toiletries you need, stock it up for yourself. The economic war has started. They are trying to unveil the war from different angles, from different corners. But today they make it more clearer. They make it broad daylight. They burnt out trucks. Those trucks were not carrying ammunition. They were not carrying weapons. They were carrying materials, toiletries, food items, bringing materials to the southeast, to the Biafra land, and they burnt it down to make sure they make the economic war intensify, that things will be too expensive that you cannot be able to afford it. Biafrans, we must wake up. Prepare yourself for the days ahead. It is going to be tough, but we are going to win at last. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, thank you. Mazi Biko, don't you see food
I want
blockade?
to
Don't
I
you
want
see
I
food
want to
blockade
put
coming in? Don't you see food blockade coming in
yeah.
from this burning of trucks and other commodities? Because it is the same food blockade that was used before. And when you made an illustration about Ruga before, Ruga was also part of it. And this is how they had wanted to use Ruga. When they now get hold of your lands, they will make it difficult for you to farm. They will make it difficult for you to cultivate and even to prepare ahead. So at the tail end, you will now become beggars. And now they have seen that ESN resisted them in the bushes. They have resorted to using the direct attack for you to see it. Please cap up the story for us.
Thank you, Biafrans. Thank you as you are listening, subscribing and sharing as well. You know, ana-ala mmanya ala, mana ada ala uche ala. This is Igbo parable. When the war was going on in 1976, they found out that Igbo people, Biafrans, can produce their own ammunition. And the Biafrans resisted the whole war, the America, Russia, Britain, that came to fight them for complete 3 years. Then they keep asking deep questions. Who is this people? An idea came to them. You can only win these people through starvation. No, what you eat when you are healthy, that is when you will fight. Then, through starvation, that is how they begin to kill people. When a soldier gets up to war, he will see that the children has not eaten anything. The children begin to die out of kwashiorkor because of food blockage, which they are doing today. Fulanis know already the weakness and the anything they can do to win Igbo man. Food. But when it comes for ammunition, Igbo people doesn't die. We reincarnate. We reincarnate. But you don't try us with the food. This is exactly the same strategy they are trying to apply today. There is no other thing. When they came for Ruga, they started Ruga using their cows, destroying our farmlands. For them to put us in hunger. This ESN resisted them. Our people went back to farm. Now they see it is not working. They open up Atlantic Ocean. They begin to burn our food because they know that the only thing that can weaken Igbo man is starvation. The same system they used before that made Ojukwu to say, he who fight and run away, live to fight another day. And this is the same system they are bringing again. Nothing more. Ruga will tell you. Because Ruga stands for destroying of ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing is in and burying them. ESN has been able to stop that one. Burning the trucks is another strategy to keep you in hunger. You see them blocking a lot of accounts. Any joint account in Nigeria now will be blocked. When they block it, they will take money. They first of all make sure that the Nigerian government entered into debt. Just economical starvation. Economical starvation. These people studied this thing long time ago. And when we come, we are telling you how it is. You understand? We are telling you how it is. Nobody will tell me that autopilot did this thing. Nobody will tell me that a commander control did this thing. Fulanis are doing it. Me and you, we are here when Fulanis, people that came from Sahara, Senegambia, and Chad, they entered Nigeria. They went to Boko Haram to study, to learn how to use gun and ammunition. And after they have graduated, knowing how to use gun, knife, and ordinary kind of ammunition, they were recruited. And the army uniform, police uniform, navy uniform on them. One of the soldiers said, since you people don't know the strategy on how to carry Ruga, we are going there with the uniform. And after he made that statement, they deployed those Boko Haram in army uniform down to Eastern Zone to use uniform to commit this atrocity. When they are committing atrocity, you cannot be able to question them or go on them because they are using Nigerian authority uniform. All these things you people should understand it. And when I get another opportunity, we will still ride on before we close. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very, very much for explaining to Biafrans. Let us bring that video to the screen so that people can understand what is actually happening.
My people, I know say many of una when be say una dey hear flood for different part of Nigeria. Una go just dey reason say maybe the water just dey still. No be so. For some place the water dey flow like say na heavy river and e don divide and destroy so many roads. As I dey talk to you now, shebi you see say all these people hold rope. Na person dey try save like this one as me and you dey talk, and the person dey inside that water. The way this water dey move na wetin oyibo dey call current, and as you dey see am, the current heavy well. The person wey dey try save no be that person wey you dey see now o. The person still dey there, the person face never even show. I wan share this video because I wan make una understand the gravity of the situation wey dey go on, because many people no understand the gravity. They just dey hear flood, maybe they just see say maybe some house don cover, they assume say everybody don pack. Many people don go. All those houses wey be say cover, some people be dey trapped inside when all these things happen and they no sabi swim o. People dey look for their family o. If get video now wey be say I go even show you now wey be say wetin they dey share for people wey be say no get house na one cup of rice. How you wan make people wey no get house, no get stove, all their gas, everything don lost for flood? How you wan make them cook 1 cup of rice? So this government wahala no be today e start o. According to wetin I dey hear, na Cameroon dam dey open, and this Cameroon dam matter government don discuss am since 1980 something. And guess who our leader that time? E be like say na our current leader Buhari na still be leader that time when be say this flood matter dey discuss am, say if they no tackle am now, in the future e go affect Nigeria o. Because if they no release if they no work on the flood, how they go take barricade the flood if e go come, e go enter our country. And na wetin everybody dey suffer now. Millions of people don lost their homes for different states across Nigeria as me and you dey talk now. And this particular video, when you go see, so you go soon see the man when he come out, he dey shake because waiting he don't experience, he might not fit talk am. You go soon see the man. Now the man be that in the back of that tree. They don't the zoom am now. He don't come and water don't. In fact, now God now save this man, and the people when be say they get the courage. The people when be say God give the courage to enter this kind of current, because not be everybody sabi swim, and even though say you sabi swim, he get the way the current go high reach. You no go fit. Abeg, make una continue to dey watch the video. The man go soon come out. Na the man hand dey hold so. They dey try tie rope for a body. The man no gree o, because he know wetin eye don see for the water. He know as he don struggle inside the water, as the water say brush am comot. If not maybe for this tree wey be say e see hole, only God know wetin for happen to am. Because e be like say as the water dey brush am comot with full force, na he use the last strength grab the tree. So na so they come take save am. The guy no gree o. He no gree enter the water, because even as they dey inside the water like this, so they still dey feel the strength of the current dey brush. That man wey wear green shirt get courage. He enter inside, he stand gidigba say, this man, we must save am today. Since our government, when we say our government no get sense, we go do our best. You see the water, you see as the water dey carry them, you see as the water dey carry them comot, you see as the water dey carry them, the water dey carry them o. No be dem move this movement when they move, so na water carry them from there reach there. They don save the man. Oh, what a country, what a country we are in. What a country we are in. Now God dey help us. So my people, I no go call the name of this place because I want make you know say na Nigeria we dey. Now all of us dey feel am together.
And
Now, that video you just watched weakens me, because he said people are being shared one cup of rice. How will one cup of rice take care of the menace? In America or any other Western world, years before this time, there is a weather summit that is being held. And when they are holding this weather summit, I see your officials from the one Nigeria going for the same summit. What do they go to that summit to go and do? Is it just to allocate money that they say this is money that was spent when they went for the weather summit? They just go and waste the money and then come back with nothing. Today now you see children and women dying with the way that they had planned this thing. They refuse to have fixed the dam. If you listen to what that commentator said, he said the person that actually was in charge when this dam was of great need to have been constructed happened to have been who? The impostor in Aso Rock that you have now. So this goes in line with the Fulanization agenda and the elimination of the Biafran, so that the Northern agenda will prevail. Because if they had taken to heart the importance of human life all the way from the 77 coming down to this day, it wouldn't have been like this. And if you look at the casualties of people from this flood, is mainly mostly from the east. People have died. People have died. But have you seen the media? Their conventional media of Laya Mohammed. Have you seen them carry the news to tell the whole world the level of damages that is ongoing? No, you cannot see it. Please, let us listen to this video before you guys will comment.
Of his assessment of the flood situation across. In continuation of his assessment of the flood situation across Bayelsa State, Governor Doye was in Otweke, the hometown of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Life in the area has become even tougher as the locals searched more avenues for survival.
Nowhere to manage, you're not hungry, now they kill us, see me now, don't turn to carpenter by force. My children, where we there now and they inside water. We don't now want to survive on one bag of pure water and 800 now with they buy.
The homes of former President Goodluck Jonathan and his mother Eunice Jonathan were not spared by the disaster.
Now, the rest of the story is not important because it has gone to the point of the water entering and also taking the house of Goodluck Jonathan, right? That is why you see the governor and the press going to visit and then carry the news here. If you may ask a question, what was the contribution of Goodluck Jonathan when he was in government? Understanding the menace that await the people of this region when this dam is opened. Why didn't he himself also try to see that he fixed that dam? While I pause this video here, I want us to talk about something here because when you look at what you see on the screen, this is a power substation. This is a power substation. Mazi survivor. In a power substation of this kind, where you have the feeder pillar, you have the transformer. And this transformer is taking power from the overhead system that is about 450 volts. What do you stand to see from the people that lives in this place? What are the dangers that this thing here now inside water, look at the transformer inside water, will happen to the people in this community, please?
My brother, the thing is so scary. When I saw the video, it's so scary. This is just a death trap. This is just a pure death trap. And the most painful thing that in all this thing that is happening, there is no rescue team in Nigeria. All the video I've been seeing, I've not seen where they showed a rescue team. Now these people were rescue people. The only people you see is still the ordinary people left in their faith to rescue themselves. The ordinary people were left in their faith to rescue themselves. Look at this kind of a thing. This is a death trap that you are seeing. A pure death trap, that's what you are seeing. And you cannot see any rescue team. You cannot see any form of government anywhere to try to rescue people or to try to put this in order or to try to tell people the situation of it or the implication of what is happening. Nobody is giving it. Even the videos we are seeing, most of them are taken by individuals. Just as you said, this one was gotten because their president was involved. Their ex-president was involved. That is why they covered that area. Every other video I've been seeing are coming out from individuals that covered it up and all whatnot. And in all, I have not seen any place where they showed me and say, this is a rescue team from the government. And because they kept silent about it, they're not talking about it. That is why even the world is not responding. But I have seen many times when there is flood in other part of the world, you see the whole world will be sending relief materials. When there is flood in other part of the world, you see people sending relief material. But this one is a critical situation where you have seen that people are completely homeless with no help at all, no help coming from anywhere. Just like the cup of rice you're saying, what is somebody who doesn't even have a place to cook, let alone one cup of rice? Even if you have a place to cook, what will one cup of rice do for you? And they are shamelessly showing it. And even if you go further to search, you might see that maybe it's an individual that volunteered to bring that one cup of rice to support the people. You saw P2B when he went to the place he went. He only there gave him 5 million. Even if P2B was able to campaign there and call for emergency support for the people, at least a rescue team, that would be much more better than the 5 million he gave. There was no rescue team coming from any angle. This is a death trap you're seeing. I pray that the world will look towards them and come to a rescue. Only Chukwu can come to a rescue, because the world automatically, even if they want to do anything, the Zoological Republic will not allow them. They will not allow the information to go. Just as you see the way the press are covering it, not giving the details of things that are happening. Where you get the details is on social media or individual coverage. Just as you said, my brother Sonny, this is part of the war. This is part of the jihad. If you see the way they ignore things that are happening, you will know fully that this is part of the jihad. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much. So, our message to Biafrans is for them to understand that with all these things happening, is a warfare, is a method of warfare, is a strategy that is used to reducing your numbers and to weakening your resolves. They know that your intentions and your stand is no elections in Biafra land, your intentions are freedom, not the continuation of the contraption of one Nigeria under Britain. That is why they will make use of everything humanly possible. Anybody in this life that does not even understand anything about the basic electricity, let me explain something. If you should put salt inside buckets, put salt inside buckets. Now, I am now doing experiment or explaining Michael Faraday's method of discovering electricity. Put salt inside buckets, then put a copper wire, then put a zinc, a metal, or maybe aluminum inside. Now, bring the two heads of the wire together and then see that it will spark. It will spark fire. And when it is converted with a converter, the voltage will be increasing. Now, the same thing is applicable here when you see this death trap. You having an overhead voltage that is coming into this feeder pillar and going out again from the transformer is already a very big death trap. See, if they should on the supply of electricity from the next power station where it is supplying to this very place here now, you see that everyone within the surrounding and anyone that is close to this water, whether your leg is inside water or whether your leg is on the surface of the soil where it is cold, where the water has come down, the water soaked before, then later the water left that place. But as far as you're standing on that earth cross, the water is still underneath that ground. You will be electrocuted. You will be shocked and then you go die instantly. This is what people should understand. What Nigeria has planned evil for the people that they want to eliminate. Mazi Biko, please, what do you have to say before we move on?
My brother, thank you. So, as I was reading the comment, I saw someone who wrote Orioma Eluru. He said he is reminding about internet. And because of this, I have to understand again the reason why there is no electricity in Nigeria. Again, going on, something brings us all to this struggle under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, if you refuse to give me Biafra, Somalia will become like a safe haven to what will happen in Nigeria. And he said, there is nothing like a 2023 election that it is called That is what he said. When the rain begin to fall, it will be beating the master and the slave all together. Goodluck Jonathan entered there as Goodluck Ebele Arinze Jonathan. They placed him there as Igbo person, but he ended up building Alamajiri School in the north. When they see that Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is about to change Nigeria for good, Naira was 130 then, equivalent to euro. Economy began to move boom. Ngozi Okonjo was there handling the economy, correcting the economy, and setting Nigeria economy. Everything was okay. They said, this person has come again to do the same thing which Michael Obara did when he was growing Naira. They joined hand and they removed him. But what happened? There is a parable which Igbo people used to say, today, Fulanis have shown the Igbo people and the Biafrans that they know the importance of land more than the people who created that parable. You can understand today the reason why electricity is not in Nigeria. But Nigeria gave More than 4 countries in Africa, electricity. They are using electricity 24 hours a day. But in Nigeria, no electricity for people not to get information that such a thing is happening. Today, you can see the house of Goodluck Jonathan. Small time it will enter the house of Asari Dokubo. Small time it will enter and circulate everywhere. Then you will ask me how and where they will stay to eat that oil. Do you know why they are doing this thing? Because all their secret has been revealed. There has no secret to protect anymore. That is why they are doing this thing. All the secret oil pipe has been revealed. And they know that even the people guiding pipeline has converted and joined ESN under autopilot. Tompolo is looking for people who will work with him, which you see the other group of people in Zama offering him boys to go and guide the pipeline, because guys have already understand the game. And where nothing ever happened in this surface of earth, both in the air, under the sea, that is hidden by human. Now, Nnamdi Kanu has waken up everybody. But it's better for them to hearken in the voice of the prophets, who say, if you don't let Biafra go, seven demons more deadly than the kind of demon ruling Nigeria since the creation of Nigeria will enter Nigeria, and it will become a mighty disaster. 7 demons. You can see one of them now. You understand? A lot is coming. And then Nnamdi Kanu, remember that he said, if you refuse to give me Biafra, Somalia will become a safe haven. Give me Biafra, let me go. Because Chukwuokike Abịama sent him to come and rescue mankind. If not, when the rain is beating the master, it will also beat the slave altogether. This is the house of Goodluck Jonathan, former president of Nigeria, who don't know the importance of his own house, who don't know the importance of his father's grave, the bone of his father. And all these people told me that they are educated. They have PhD, guiding pipelines for oppressors. Really, it is better for these people to wake up and understand the parable which Simon Ekpa used yesterday and deliver the state of emergency program he did yesterday, because he has spoken in a diplomatic way that every other person will understand that we are not going to wait and look upon these people to eliminate us. Only a tree head that is going to die, and they remain at one place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Let me play something so that we hear the testimony from this place.
Okay. How long are we staying more?
No, we are almost done.
Okay.
Teams recounted their losses.
I have 2 houses. My house is collapsed now. There's 2 houses, we have them all collapsed. So I've been here from about 2 weeks ago now.
All our houses covered by water. Nowhere to be stayed. It is though the commissioner that we should come here and the rest.
Bielsa actually need.
No, we are not interested from what these animalistic governors and leaders are going to say. We just wanted to hear the dangers and the situation which our people find themselves. Now, I heard that Peter Obi has stopped his campaign for now because of the menace of the flood that he has seen ravage many parts of Biafra land. Is it true or is false? Is it just mere speculation?
It's true.
It's true. Okay. If it is true, as my comrade have just confirmed, What can people understand from this? What can people understand from the action of Peter Obi? I want people to understand one thing, that Peter Obi, even as he decided to become a London boy, has just exemplified the true nature of a Biafran. He has exemplified the true nature of a Biafran because a Biafran man has that empathic and sympathetic nature in his life. You have seen people dying and bodies floating. You tried to enter Benue and then you saw that people are dying. You donated whether 5 million. You came down to your own land, your own situation in your own land has been triple of what you saw in Benue. As someone that Biafran blood is flowing in him and has sense of reasoning, he decided to stop his campaign. Trying to call other people, say, turn your eye, let us stop the campaign, let us stop the election maniac, let us focus on saving lives first. But can you people see this gesture coming from the Fulani invested brains? Have you seen Atiku Donsem? Have you seen Kwankoso Donsem? Have you seen Yakaban Donsem? Have you seen Shetima Donsem? This is why we told Obi, you are a Biafran. You shouldn't have allowed yourself to be used as the playboy of London to play the games of the Fulanis. That is what people need to see that is different. Even as they will use you and you decide to play the fool, there is something that will still speak out of you that the difference will be clear as a Biafra. But are they ready to do it? No, because as of now, there is supposed to be a standby rescue team. I am supposed to be seeing a life jacket. I am supposed to be seeing a rescue boat. I am supposed to be seeing relief materials going round. Helicopter is supposed to be flying above all those places and then supplying all those things, picking people out from there. The divers are supposed to be going into the water, checkmating and picking out casualties, and then picking people out to a safer zone. If they had planned well, you would have seen a camp or a place where they will keep everybody to curtail the menace for the meantime. Everybody would have been there before this thing even happened. But as we speak to you, babies that slept, mothers that slept, and were calling their babies on their breast, they woke up dead because they were not informed of what was coming to be. Mazi, please, there is something else I want us to fire before we leave. In the course of firing this one, you can also talk about these obese differences of the Biafran attitude that he has just showed now, comparing it to the other Fulani people where we say they cannot turn their heads back. What I want you people to puncture as we bring this broadcast to an end is the message that Father Mbaka left. Father Mbaka said something, whether it was in August or October or November. He said he was shouting. He said all the religious leaders should stand up and open their mouth and condemn the evil that is ongoing in one Nigeria. And then he said, "Woe betides anyone that refuses because of compromise and money." Now you have seen how Biafrans and other people in one Nigeria have been kidnapped and cut to pieces. Some religious leaders and clergies have been going with their booga booga cars. Recently, Suleiman was in what? A bulletproof car. Hmm? But his convoy was not bulletproof. His families were inside the bulletproof car. His convoys were not bulletproof. When the planned attack came, he was bulletproofed to his life, right? The other people were not bulletproof, and then they now paid the price of one Nigeria. But now let us ask Biafrans question or make them understand. Why is it that Suleiman or these religious leaders will preach and give you oil and this chain of sacrament and gives you olive oil and give you Bible to pray with? But then they don't have trust in the Bible. They don't have trust in the olive oil. They don't have trust in the handkerchief that they give you. They say the miracle is there. They only have trust in AK-47 and the convoy and the bulletproof car that they have. It is falling back. Mazi Chuk Survivor, please wrap it up for us.
Thank you so much, my brother. Starting from the first one you talked about, the London boy. You see, in the case of London boy and his gesture, just like our spokesperson, Simon Ekpa, have said, all these people you are seeing, all these politicians, and including all those who claim to want Nigeria, these people are all Biafrans. And they know it deep in their heart that they are Biafrans. But the difference between us and them is that these people, they know that they are Biafran, but they are afraid of the unknown. Fear of the unknown. They cannot be bold enough to defend that which is theirs. So many of them have changed their names. So many of them cannot even be bold to say that they are from this extraction because they want to have a post. So many of them have denied their own identity because they want to have a post. But deep down in them, if you engage them privately, they will tell you how they love, how they want this Biafra more than you do. Everyone Nigerian, engage them privately. They will tell you how they want this Nigeria more than you, this Biafra more than you. But because of the fear of the unknown, because of what they will eat, some of them because of their friend, because of the group of friends they keep, they want to maintain that friend. Some of them because of their dirty lifestyle, the fraudulent lifestyle, they want to maintain it. Some of them are scared about the money that will be coming to their account. Afraid of the unknown. They know they cannot flourish in a working system. In a government where there is a working system, they can't flourish. That is why they are so scared. That is why they are also so scared. And will that stop us? It is not going to stop us from doing what they're doing. Every single one of them, they are Biafrans, but they are hiding under one thing or the other. But at a point in time, you still see them display that life of a Biafran. You see, and the Fulanis know. The Fulanis know. That is why they identify you as a Biafran. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter the group you belong. They identify as a Biafran. And when they come after Biafran, they will come after you. Even you that is talking about one Nigeria, they will come after you first. They will take you out. Because they know you very well that you are a Biafran. Then you come to the issue of the pastors. Why I don't like to be diving into the issue of religion and whatever is that. The problem that Nigeria have is a systemic problem. If Nigeria have a working system, all these people will disappear. If we have a country, assuming we establish a Biafra that is very stable, we have a stable system in Biafra, all these pastors, most of them will go and look for a job. They will disappear. But because the system is wrong, it is because there is no good system. That is why you still see people, you see the poor people, they still play into the hand of these people. They have no other help. The only result of God will help us. God day. Everybody resort to God day. But if you have a system that is working, that everybody know that if I have headache, I call 911, ambulance will come and pick me, go to the hospital and treat me. Why would you be going to church and sleep when you have a headache? If you know that when you are sick, if you go to the hospital, they will treat you without giving you any condition. They will first of all treat you and make sure that you're okay. After you're okay, then the money can be deducted from your whatever gradually. You don't have any need to go and run for a church and sleep when you are sick. What you have to do is that, knowing fully well that you have a working system, if you are sick, the first thing you will do is to pick up your phone, you call 911 or any number, you dial it, the ambulance will come to your house, pick you, the way they do in the Western world. Pick you to hospital and treat you and you'll be okay. But when these people have no other hope, there is no hope. Nobody will come to them. Nobody will come to their aid. No, they can't call anybody. If you go to private hospital, unless you deposit the amount, half of the amount, you will not be treated. So everybody resorts going to a church to go and sleep and put everything in the heart of God. God day. And as long as this system continues to flourish, you will continue to have these fake pastors. You will continue to have this fake imam. You continue to have the fake native doctors, and they will continue to flourish. There is nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter how you preach. The poor people, helpless people will always go, because that becomes the last hope. At least they will have something that will give them a hope. There was a story one woman told. A woman, one of these places where there is starvation. A woman told a story that the way he was able to make his children survive was that when those children are very hungry, there's no food to eat, she would take a stone, put that stone in a pot, and put it in the fire. Nothing in the pot. But when those children see that pot in fire, they will be hoping that food is coming and they will sleep off. And when the children sleep off, the woman will bring down the pot. That was what the woman was doing constantly until, luckily for her, a rescue come before the children could be able to survive. And they gave them more. They asked her how she survived. That was the only trick she used. That hope that those children were having, that mommy is cooking. They will be waiting and waiting and they will sleep off. The next day, the woman would play the same game. And only that hope. And this is exactly what is playing out in the life of our ordinary people in Nigeria. They will go to church. They will kneel down there and begin to pray with all the hope and all the encouragement, all the word of encouragement and everything they will give them. They will have hope that it will be well, even when death is knocking at their door. Even at the point of death, they will have hope it is well. Eventually, by the special grace of Chukwu Kabiama, some people might be well, and some people who their case is critical will die off.
Mazi, thank you, Mazi.
Thank you, my brother.
Because as they talk, they go. You're getting everybody over emotional. Mazi Biko, see another one for the screen. Oh. Another pastor be this. Now two policemen they gather with AK-47. But they say they use olive oil take heal people. And the one where happened recently, now bulletproof car, 9 days inside. But the convoy where they say they guide them. Imagine, the pastor where they use say Nigeria will be better, Nigeria will be better. They are using convoy, they are using army, they are using police to protect themselves.
Okay. My brother, you spoke about P2B before, they say Biafra is a spirit. And many people doesn't understand why we used to say that Biafra is a spirit. And only those who worship Biafra and who follow Biafra through spirit are the people who is understanding what is going on. And that's why they say, if you don't understand how to fight for it, you should stay away. That the people who know how to do it will stay in front. That's why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in front of 7 or 18 million people demanding for 100 men. This is a backup story. You remember, not long ago, Simon Ekpa said, P2B will back down. Before the election, he will back down. Did anybody call P2B to stop campaign? Nobody. Simon Ekpa did not stop P2B. Only P2B said, continuing to beat about the bush will not help him. Let me tell you, here we are in Western world. You will meet all these people on the street because you don't need security. You go, you tell the men, these people need Biafra more than me and you. They need Biafra more than me and you. They go to discotheque here, they dance, they go. They dance as if they are. These people need Biafra. They told B2B, we know you are a Biafra. So because of things of the world, he decided to kill his own brothers and they threw their body inside the river. So Simon told him, you will back down before the election and you will see that Biafra is a spirit and it is happening. Nobody asked him. The nature will tell him. Before I joined this media, begin to show my face to speak about Biafra, is because I went to different pastors, pleading to them to change topic, tell people the truth. That is what I can tell you. I will be proud that I met more than 10 pastors. They say that we are making noise. And one of them whom I think will be reasonable said, you people are just making noise. I said, okay, that thing you can tell people in a group, I can also tell them. My message I did program today, which anybody who is go and check the program I did today. I made program today which I tag Chris Ayekinome, Adeboye, Oyedepo, Emobai, Cardinal Arinze. And whenever I am making programs since I joined this movement, I can't stop mentioning Cardinal Arinze. That time Mbaka was one Nigeria. We blew hot on Mbaka until he returned. Today, Cardinal Arinze returned and they entered and are celebrated because his soul has been won. We are the people whom God have chosen to go and look for them. And to come up with these people who is using AK-47 and the military to guide themselves to Suleiman and co. Bible said, at the end, their secret will be revealed to the whole world. Their secret will be revealed to the whole world is those people who started the race early will become last. The first will become the last, and the last will become the end. Many of these people never knew that we believe in God more than any other thing. Many of them don't even know that we know God more than they do. Only that they exaggerated and they touch the lion tail. That is why we come up and they carry the gospel the way it's supposed to be. Telling you that if you fail 2023, you are gone and they're gone forever, as Igbo is. If you fail 2023, the golden opportunity, which in the next 18 minutes now, it will remain 21 days to enter Biafra, or 121 days to enter Biafra. If you fail this opportunity, do not say I didn't tell you.
I think
I
131.
entered
131.
this 131. Yeah.
131. Okay.
I entered this media. I entered this Biafran struggle for you not to say Paul did not tell you, like it happened in Living in Bondage by Andy Okeke. He say Andy Okeke say Paul did not explain this thing very well. Eh? Do not say I didn't tell you that if you miss this 2023, you are gone. You know, if maybe we have time, me I don't have time again. It's almost 3 hours now. I would like to carry a different message. You understand? Because that guy that acted Living in Bondage is number person that's supposed to champion Biafra. But he ended up saying, instead Biafra will come. It's better for him to eat shit. That film, Living in Bondage, is the key that opened Biafran people, everybody's in Nigeria eyes. Kenneth Okonkwo. He ended up by saying, before Biafra come, eat shit. But he is going to eat that shit. Are you getting it?
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Mazi. That shit is already eating it because it's not. Is it not in politics now? let, let him continue to eat this shit. So, Biafrans all over the world, we thank you all and we love you from here. And we thank you for sharing and hitting the like button. If you haven't done so, please remember to visit 555 Vision. 555 Vision. 555 Vision. That is Biko's channel on YouTube. Also, remember to hook up with Choke Survival on YouTube. And from my end is Biafran Sonny TV. We are standing strong and tall to make sure that the flag continues to fly above sea level so that we will continue to work strong. Like Chuk said before, continue to do whatever you know how to do best and contribute in whichever way that you have not even contributed before, because the system that we are in now is different from what used to happen before. You will see more burning of houses. People should not say Sonny is proposing evil. Now, when you are in security planning and you are
Right.
fighting this kind of fight, you need to be prepared for every collateral damages that will come. So I'm making it clear for you people to understand. You will see more burning of houses. You will see more burning of trucks. You will see more burning of a livelihood of people. You have already seen how the bodies of our children and women and men are floating on the water. So what else? And you have seen that lady crying that they don't have food to eat because they have unleashed the jihad on them in many ways. So we just need to be prepared and focused. All I'm praying is that God should intertwine the heart of our leaders. Like Obi now that his head is trying to turn clockwise. Let God turn that his head and many others, let their eyes open very well so that they will see what the Fulanese has in stock for them. Because until they understand well, they will not come back to their senses. So we appreciate you all from here. And my comrades, please, few seconds to give a very fondly goodbye to our people so that they will remain cherished and remain in wait so that whenever you come, they will pick you up again. Mazi Biko, please.
Hello, Biafrans, the children of light. God love you. That's why He's sending Nnamdi Kanu to come and speak on your behalf. And He has been able to win our soul for us to join Him to deliver this message. Only Biafra can save you as a mankind. It is written both in the history and we have historical backup where they said that the life of those people in Africa doesn't want to be saved. That's why when tsunami happened in Thailand, they sent the rescue team to save them. When Fukushima or what happened in Japan, rescue team were there to save them. But it's happening today. But your life has no value. Only a tree head that is going to die and they remain at one place. Every other living thing will look for a way to save its life. But you should know that European Union and United Nations gave animals in the wild value more than you, who is a human being in African land. If you go to the wild and kill elephant, you are facing long time sentence or life jail. Tiger, lion, or any of these strong wild animal. It is under the law of United Nations. But here, if they see flood killing you, nobody talks about that. Fulanis have their AK-47 killing you. Nobody talks about that. They rape you, they rape your father, they rape your mother, they tear them. After raping them, they will pieces their body in pieces and they share it inside the camp. Nobody talks about it because your life has no value. But do not become the one whom they will pay someone to reduce you in this life. And if you remember that Nachidi Nezia, you should call on him. Chibike Dinezia, you should obtain God. Chibihe, look for the light of God. Because he said, whenever we call up on the name of Chukwokika, he will answer us. And at the end, Biafra will come. Only if you people follow the strategy and the system of new dimension, which Simon Eba is bringing. Thank you. As we see you tomorrow, we will be doing everything possible to make sure we come up. As you are hitting the subscribing button and sharing the program, that is how we will know that we are doing a great job. That is how we will know that you appreciate what you are doing. We need the subscribe button to increase. We will take advantage of internet to deliver this message, which some pastors are still waiting to do. Thank you. Thank you, all of us of freedom. Thank you, Abarawa. Thank you, Choose Survival. I greet Simon Eba. I greet our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the autopilot, all lovers of freedom, genuine lovers of freedom, be you commander control, be you in autopilot, be you whatever. Since you are genuine, looking for Biafra, look for the right track to enter.
Thank you. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you. Thank you. Mazi Chook Survival, the mic is yours, please.
Fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you who has been patient with us from the beginning to the end of this very program. We are just going back to have rest and come back again. We are not ended on the program. The program will continue on our various platforms. Please, any place you're watching from, always have it at the back of your mind that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There will be light. Already we are seeing the light. There will be light at the end of the tunnel. But what you have to do now as a Biafran in the state that we are, after seeing the brokers that our spokesperson have met, begin to activate the humanity in you, regardless your belief, regardless the angle you have coming from, regardless your religion, your area, your dialect, your whatever, the group you claim to belong to. Activate the humanity in you. We are going to a critical stage. But at the end of it all, we are going to come back with joy. This is a time we have to remember that will be our brother's keeper. Always put that at the heart of your mind, because we are in a dangerous time. A time that we can only survive when we are together. A time that we can only survive by supporting each other and watching each other's back. I pray that every one of us, by the grace of Chukwu, will fall in line and continue to work towards the number of days that we have as we are counting days. Thank you so much, and may Chukwu bless and guide and protect every one of you as we continue to preach the gospel on your own way. Thank you, and stay blessed. I also appreciate my brothers who are there on the panel with me, Parawa and Biko. I appreciate both of you, and I thank God for the help He has been giving us to stand up to this minute. And I pray that God will protect us and also protect our spokesperson and lead us until the end. Thank you, and stay blessed.
Thank you, as a survivor. Let us also use this opportunity to remind everyone that for us to keep our land free of the foreign invaders, and for us to also fight the fight that is on our table, we need resources. So on this very note, our mega fundraising is coming up on the 29th of this very month. It's on a Saturday, 7 p.m. Biafra time. Join us and make the race to be a collective responsibility. So we thank you all for being part and parcel of this program. And as we have seen the necessity of giving people hope when we are in a time like this, that is what we are doing every day that we come out to the media. You need to have hope that there is success at the tunnel. And we will not desist nor relent in what we are doing until MNK is out, until Biafra is restored. We are not backing down. So we thank you all for watching. And from me and from my comrades here, I say thank you very much for being available. So from us from here, we say good evening.
I saw 4 vehicles. People were brought out of the vehicles. And when I came out of the vehicle, my driver collapsed. I had to drive the vehicle going to Owerri and coming back to
Out of fear?
Yeah, out of fear, he collapsed, he passed away. Well, as soon as he saw people with weapons, that was the end of the news. So when I came out of the vehicle, a man walked and looked at me. He said I should come over here. And I followed him. Another person came out. I said, are you Chief Dan Olas? I said, yes. I said, God will bless you. I said, why? He said, because we watch you on television, you have been defending our master Nnamdi Kanu. I said, I'll continue to defend him until I die. That he's the summary of all the problems Igbos have in this country. If Nnamdi Kanu is released today, it is more important to me than any Igbo man or anybody being president of Nigeria. Because that boy represents the summary of the oppression, the whatever the shortcomings of our people. A boy who was born only in 1966 took that risk of life to talk for our people. You may not like his methodology, but what he does represents 99% of what Igbos are passing through in this country. But he's in jail. Not many people remember that Nnamdi is in jail. And I pray God that nothing happens to him. Because if anything happens to him, this life, I'll put it on the line again. I pray God that nothing happens to him. So what I'm saying that in that journey, they told me to go that nothing will happen to me. I told them that my driver is already passed away. And they gave me somebody. But I told them, there are a lot of killings going on. They said, oh God, we don't kill anybody. Hausa Fulanis who are killing people. And that is why we are making sure, searching every vehicle to make sure that they don't infiltrate our place, that we don't kill anybody.
Interesting.
And I believe them.
All
so
right.
one of their fellows followed me to Owerri, and I saw what Hope was in, and I came back, dropped, and I went back to Enugu.
All right, let me come up with, I mean, this follow-up question is very important. I mean, having tested the narrative of Chief Danwanya on the process of rebuilding or perhaps changing the dynamics in Imo, and you were accosted on the road by Ipob, what then was your takeaway from that? I mean, that conversation, post when you left that, how do you review the safety?
I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land. And killing of armless and defenseless IPOB members and Mossab and other Biafra agitators, this can no longer be tolerated by us. We, the unrecognized voices of the IPOB autopilot, as they call us, all over the world, demand with immediate effect the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land. We hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land. I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land. I don't know what. I don't know if we are suffering from politicians. I don't know where this disease is coming from. We must cure it. I want our enemies to understand how fanatical we are about this quest to liberate Biafra from the shackles of the iniquitous zoological republic. You need to understand this very clearly. We are not going to stop. We are not going back. I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter what your report says. I don't care the countries putting it together. It is irrelevant to me. What matters is the liberation of Biafra. Therefore, if Katrina Lang has any brain in her skull, if all those idiots encouraging the zoo to continue, if they have any brain in their skull, they will say, let us allow Biafra to go with their trouble, because I can assure you, as night follows day, that Biafra must come or we all die in the process. Do you know why? Because what we are looking for is what belongs to us. I am asking for something that I had before the white man came. White man is not God. He's not God. God is in heaven. I assure you, God Almighty is in heaven, and His will must be done upon our lives. They are not God. Nobody can create a country for me. I decide where I want to belong to. The people must decide if Nigeria is their country or not. Not a white man and a white woman. All these idiots suffering from inferiority complex, shame on all of you. You are foolish, useless black people. Because of your stupidity, that is why Africa is being treated the way it is today, like a trash can, more or less. As Trump said, a shithole. A white man has no business creating country for me. Because I, Nnamdi Kanu, as a black man, I cannot go to Europe to create a country for them. Why then should I allow a white man and a drunken white woman to come to my land to create country for me? If you accept it, you are inferior.